Hello friends, today I am going to summarize the contents of the 23rd May 2020 issue of the Economic and Political Weekly. I am Leena Matthias, Executive Editor. I begin with the first editorial. No stimulus in economic stimulus package is the title. It says the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan falls short of being either a relief or a fiscal package. It goes on to say that at this point, the specific role of the fiscal stimulus should be to increase public spending in physical or human capital, raise money in the hands of residents by direct cash transfers and subsidies, and provide safety nets like job guarantee and unemployment benefits. The second editorial is titled The Idea of Atmanirbhar India. It says the central government's idea of Atmanirbhar India is more instrumental than substantive. And it suggests, without holistic long-term planning and a stronger political will for the radical restructuring of the economy on egalitarian lines, the idea of Atmanirbhar may remain just a slogan. I come to, from the editor's desk, editor Professor Gopal Guru's column. This time it is titled Significance of the Petitionary Genre. He says the worsening effects of the COVID-19 pandemic seems to have pushed political and popular expressions into a petitionary mode. In such a mode, unlike the legal petition, which is driven by a procedure, a rhetorical performance is at play, calling out for the ethical and moral capacity of both the state as well as the people in distress. He then goes on to say that in such a petitionary genre, the capacity of expression gets mediated by the force of a moral appeal. And then in a typical Professor Gopal Guru style, he draws thought-provoking implications and meanings of what this appeal means in this context. Our Law and Society column this time is titled A Regressive World View on Scheduled Tribe Reservations. It discusses the Supreme Court's setting aside of the Andhra Pradesh government's preference scheme for scheduled tribes in schools in scheduled areas. We come now to the commentary section. Health and nutrition of India's labour force and COVID-19 challenges. This commentary says that the country needs a data-driven exit and post-exit strategy from the lockdown that will not only mitigate the immediate food crisis that millions of poor households are facing, but also reduce the long-term structural bottlenecks that limit these poor households' access to food. The second commentary is titled Mumbai's Struggles with Public Health Crisis from Plague to COVID-19. It gives a history of not just the present, but going by the title, the other epidemics that Mumbai has faced and battled. And then it goes on to warn that if the migration of workers from cities is not stopped through appropriate economic support measures, the public health crisis will only worsen, because most of these migrants are returning to states that have very poor healthcare system, with limited capacities to deal with such crises. It also says that this pandemic offers political opportunity for governments to focus on strengthening primary health care and public health systems through bold experimentation. The third commentary is titled Coerced Movements and the Unraveling of a People. Immigrants and the institution of immigration, argues this commentary, pose the question of inclusion of migrants into their adopted lands and social and political linkages with their societies of origin. Next, taxation in times of COVID-19. This government and this commentary, analyzes the measures to provide tax relief by the government of India and compares it to measures taken by other countries on the same aspect, and also makes a number of suggestions on devising a strategic plan in the respect of direct tax laws. In the commentary section, the last article, this is a tribute and an assessment to Professor Yogendra Singh. It's titled An Apostle of Sociological Theory, and it assesses his work as a scholar, as a teacher, as a theorist, and a founding member of the Sociology Center at the Jawaharlal Nehru University. Professor Singh was a teacher par excellence, and this is a tribute from a student. Our book reviews this time. The first, The Politics of Swidden Farming, Environment and Development in Eastern India. The second book is The Empire of Apostles, Religion, Accommodation and the Imagination of Empire in Early Modern Brazil and India. In the perspective section this time, we have two perspectives articles. The first one is titled COVID-19, Public Health System and Local Governance in Kerala. This is a detailed analysis of the state's successful measures to fight the current pandemic, and it also gives a very broad and expansive picture of how the local bodies in the state were given their due in helping in dealing with the pandemic, and also how the administration, the state government, made it a point that all the citizens of the state would be informed and all decisions taken with clear transparency. The second perspective is titled Community Self-Governance in Education. I come now to our special articles section. The first is titled Access to Credit in Eastern India, Implications for the Economic Well-being of Agricultural Households. And the second, Revisiting Open Defecation, Evidence from a Panel Survey in Rural North India 2014 to 2018. I am sure you will visit our site to read this issue in detail. Thank you.